Good morning, Dr. Jen Klabundy's in studio to talk about hypothermia in your pets, especially looking at a lot of those outdoor dogs or even hunting dogs for that matter.
Right. Any pet is at risk for hypothermia if they're out in the cold. But up here we have a lot of hunting dogs. We have a lot of bird dogs, a lot of duck dogs, and these guys are especially at risk for hypothermia even when it's not necessarily cold out.
And looking at, how cold is too cold? You see a lot of dogs sometimes have their crates outside. They're outside all day long when we're in these sub-zero temps.
Absolutely. And these hunting dogs, they're out running through the snow all day trying to, go through the fields to find birds.
Right.
The duck dogs, they're going into the water to retrieve these ducks, coming back out and waiting for the next go-round. So it does not have to be sub-zero temperatures for these dogs to get too cold. It could be 55-degree water temperature and a light cool breeze blowing. The air could be 40 degrees.
Sure.
These are real things, real times that dogs out there can get hypothermia. So that's actually a warm front for us.
Right, exactly. We think that's warm.
Exactly.
What about the 3 different stages?
So there are 3 different stages of hypothermia.
Okay.
That if you are a hunter, if you are out in the fields and you see your dog shaking uncontrollably, they just can't stop. I mean, we've all seen it before when you get out there, and even we've done it ourselves. Sometimes you just can't stop shaking. This is the first stage of hypothermia. You really need to pay attention at this point, because the next stage, what can happen very quickly, they stop shivering, they get warm. And you hear of people that are out in the cold, they're shivering uncontrollably, and then all of a sudden they say that they get really warm and they start taking their jacket off. And so this is the same with dogs. They can stop shivering, they act like they're normal, but they're actually much worse than they just were a couple minutes ago.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What about the 3rd stage?
So the 3rd stage is very severe. You get past that period where they actually feel warm, they're not as cold feeling anymore, and they lose consciousness. They can start staggering around, they start having trouble breathing, and then they lose consciousness.
Obviously, you want to prevent getting to any of those stages altogether.
You do.
So that brings up the question, how do you keep the animal warm?
Yeah, so keeping the animal warm, if you're just a recreational outdoorsman, just get them inside. Wear your jacket, wear boots, don't stay out for very long. But for these dogs that are out there and it is their job to be out there all day and to be working for their owner, get them out of the wind, get them out of the cold, dry them off, keep them dry. If you're going to kennel them in your truck, in the bed of your truck, as opposed to the rear of your truck without maybe a pop-up.
Okay.
Try to just keep them out of the cold at all. Put a vest on them. Try to keep them warm, like a neoprene vest. When you're out hunting and maybe you have a blind and you're kind of waiting for the next round of ducks to come in, play a little fetch with them. Keep their body going. Don't just sit there in the wet and the cold all day without moving, because that's going to make you much, much, much colder.
Definitely keep them moving, keep them warm, and out of the elements if you can.
Correct.
Excellent information. Dr. Klabundy, as always, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And of course, for more information about Northwood Animal Hospital, we do have a direct link posted to our Facebook page, also our website, UpNorthLive.com, so check that out. Taking a look now at weather.